The ground beneath our feet, it's something we take for granted, the very symbol of stability. But what happens when that stability is shattered in an instant? Today, we're exploring the harrowing moments when a city is brought to its knees by a mega earthquake. Imagine this, it's a normal Tuesday afternoon. People are at work, kids are in school, the city hums with its usual rhythm. Suddenly, a low rumble begins, a sound you feel more than you hear. Within seconds, it escalates into a violent, earth-shattering roar. The ground isn't just shaking, it's rolling like an angry ocean. Buildings sway like reeds in a storm, their glass facades shattering and raining down onto the streets below. Inside, the world turns into a treacherous trap. Desks slide across floors, shelves topple, and ceilings crack open. The air fills with the sounds of screaming, crashing debris, and the high-pitched shriek of alarms. Panic sets in. Do you run? Do you hide? Every instinct screams, get out. But where is safe when the very ground is your enemy? People scramble under tables or huddle in doorways, praying for the shaking to stop. Outside, the scene is one of pure chaos. Pavements split open, swallowing cars whole. Bridges, those marvels of engineering, twist and collapse into the rivers they once spanned. Power lines snap, casting entire districts into darkness and sparking fires that spread rapidly through the rubble. The city's familiar skyline is redrawn in seconds. Iconic towers reduced to twisted skeletons of steel and concrete. When the shaking finally subsides, an eerie silence descends, punctuated only by the cries for help and the wail of distant sirens. Survivors emerge from the wreckage, covered in dust, dazed and disoriented. The city they knew just minutes ago is gone, replaced by a landscape of devastation. Streets are impassable, blocked by mountains of rubble. The familiar grid of the city has become a deadly maze. In this moment of utter destruction, something incredible happens. Heroes emerge. Ordinary people, office workers, shopkeepers. Students begin digging through the debris with their bare hands, desperate to find the trapped and injured. Strangers help strangers, offering a hand, a word of comfort, or a share of their water. First responders, though facing immense personal risk, push forward into the most dangerous zones, their training and courage put to the ultimate test. The aftermath of a megaquake is a long and arduous journey. It's a story of loss and grief, but it's also a powerful testament to human resilience. Rebuilding isn't just about bricks and mortar. It's about rebuilding lives, communities, and hope. It reminds us that while we can't control the forces of nature, we can control how we respond with courage, compassion, and an unbreakable will to rise from the ruins. Events like these are a stark reminder of the importance of preparedness. Knowing what to do in an earthquake can save lives. If you want to learn more about earthquake safety and how you can prepare your own family and community, check out resources from your local emergency services or organizations like the Red Cross. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more content that explores our incredible world. Stay safe out there. Imagine standing in the heart of a bustling city. The symphony of traffic, the chatter of crowds, the distant hum of industries. These are the sounds of our daily lives. Now, imagine all of that noise being replaced by a single, deafening roar. A sound not from the streets, but from the horizon. This isn't the plot of a disaster movie. It's a terrifying reality that coastal communities across the globe have faced. Today, we're exploring the unimaginable power of a tsunami. A force of nature so immense it can make our greatest cities look like sandcastles before a rising tide. What exactly triggers such a cataclysmic event? Most often, the culprit is a massive disturbance deep beneath the ocean's surface. Like a powerful undersea earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or a submarine landslide. When a huge section of the seafloor suddenly shifts, it displaces a colossal volume of water above it. This energy doesn't just create a ripple, it generates a series of immense waves that can travel across entire oceans at the speed of a jetliner. Out in the deep ocean, a tsunami might not look like much. The wave height could be just a few feet, and the distance between crests can be hundreds of miles long. A ship in these waters might not even notice it pass. But as this immense body of energy approaches the shallower waters of a coastline, a dramatic transformation begins. The wave's speed decreases, but its energy has to go somewhere. So, it goes up. The water begins to pile on top of itself, growing in height at an astonishing rate. This is the moment that turns a natural phenomenon into a nightmare. What was once a subtle swell far at sea becomes a towering wall of water. We're not talking about a big wave you could surf. We're talking about a liquid mountain. Dozens, sometimes even hundreds of feet high, crowned with churning debris. Before the main wave hits, the sea might mysteriously retreat, exposing the ocean floor in an eerie, unnatural calm. This is nature's final, deceptive warning. Then, it arrives. The wave doesn't just crash and recede like a normal wave. It's a relentless surge, a turbulent flood that barrels inland for miles, carrying with it the force of the entire ocean. It moves with a terrifying combination of speed and weight. Buildings, bridges, and infrastructure, the very symbols of human achievement, are swept away as if they were toys. The sheer hydraulic force can shatter concrete and bend steel. Cars are tossed around like pebbles, and entire neighborhoods vanish in minutes under a churning mass of water and wreckage. The imagery is almost impossible to comprehend. A wall of water rising above skyscrapers, casting a shadow over a city moments before impact. The roar is deafening, a mix of the ocean's fury and the sound of a metropolis being torn apart. It's the ultimate demonstration of nature's power over our built world. The initial impact is just the beginning. The floodwaters can remain for hours or even days, creating a toxic soup of debris, chemicals, and hazards. And a tsunami is rarely a single wave. It's a series of surges that can arrive over several hours, each one compounding the destruction. But the story of a tsunami isn't just about destruction. It's also about survival, resilience, and human ingenuity. In the face of such overwhelming power, knowledge is our best defense. Early warning systems, like the dart buoys in the Pacific Ocean, can detect tsunamis hours before they make landfall, providing crucial time for evacuation. Education about warning signs, like the sudden receding of the sea, saves lives. Coastal communities are now designing vertical evacuation structures and better planned escape routes. We are learning to respect the ocean's power and adapt. The raw, untamable force of a tsunami serves as a profound reminder. It shows us that despite our technological advancements and the scale of our cities, we are still part of a dynamic and powerful natural world. It calls for humility, preparedness, and a global commitment to protecting coastal populations. Understanding these colossal waves isn't about fear, it's about fostering respect and driving the innovation that will help us coexist with one of our planet's most awesome and formidable forces. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. If you found this journey into the power of nature fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Stay curious, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Imagine a perfect day at the beach. The sun is warm, the waves are gentle, a light breeze rustles the palm trees. Everything feels calm, peaceful, idyllic. Now, picture all of that vanishing in an instant. The water, once your friend, recedes unnaturally far, exposing the seabed in a way you've never seen before. It's an eerie, silent warning. And then, on the horizon, a wall of water begins to rise. This is the terrifying reality of a tsunami. Tsunamis are not just big waves. They are one of nature's most powerful and devastating forces. They can travel across entire oceans at speeds comparable to a jetliner. When they reach the coast, they don't just break and foam like normal waves. They surge inland as a fast-rising tide, a relentless wall of water that can be tens of meters high, carrying incredible energy and debris. What triggers such a catastrophic event? Most often, it's a massive underwater earthquake, a sudden shift in the tectonic plates beneath the ocean floor. This violent movement displaces a colossal volume of water, creating a series of powerful waves that radiate outwards. Underwater volcanic eruptions or landslides can also be culprits, unleashing the same destructive potential. It's a geological chain reaction where the Earth's inner turmoil becomes the ocean's fury. The devastation left in a tsunami's wake is almost unimaginable. Buildings are flattened, infrastructure is destroyed, and entire communities can be washed away in a matter of minutes. The force is so immense it can move cars like toys and uproot massive trees. But the immediate impact is only the beginning. The aftermath often brings challenges like contaminated water, loss of electricity, and the immense, heartbreaking task of search, rescue, and recovery. It's a long and difficult road for survivors. But in the face of such overwhelming destruction, we also witness the incredible strength of the human spirit. Communities come together, strangers help strangers, and aid workers from around the globe rush to provide support. It's a powerful reminder of our capacity for compassion and resilience. So, what can we do? Knowledge is our best defense. Understanding the warning signs, like a sudden sea level drop or a coastal earthquake, is crucial. Many coastal regions now have sophisticated tsunami warning systems and designated evacuation routes. Knowing your local plan, having an emergency kit, and moving to higher ground immediately if you suspect a tsunami is coming can save lives. It's about respecting the power of the ocean and being prepared. Thank you for joining me to understand this powerful natural phenomenon. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into the world around us. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video. Imagine a force of nature so powerful it can move an entire ocean. A force that travels across the sea at the speed of a jetliner, silent and nearly invisible. This isn't a monster from a movie. This is a tsunami, one of the most awe-inspiring and destructive events on our planet. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of this phenomenon, exploring the ultimate clash, the unstoppable ocean versus the immovable land. What happens when these two titans collide? Stick around to find out. So, what exactly sparks such a colossal event? Most tsunamis are born from a sudden, violent disturbance on the seafloor, most commonly a massive underwater earthquake. Picture two tectonic plates locked in a struggle for centuries. When the pressure becomes too much, one plate suddenly lurches upwards, displacing a staggering volume of water above it. This isn't just a wave. It's a massive column of water, from the seabed to the surface, that begins to radiate outwards. In the deep ocean, this energy travels with incredible speed, but the wave itself might only be a few feet high, often passing ships completely unnoticed. The real danger is hidden, gathering strength for its grand finale. As this energy surge approaches the coastline, everything changes. The ocean floor shallows dramatically, and this is where the physics gets truly terrifying. The incredible speed of the wave begins to slow down, but the energy has nowhere to go but up. The water piles upon itself, growing from a gentle swell into a monstrous wall of water, a towering liquid mountain ready to crash down. In some cases, the sea may first recede unnaturally far from the shore, a phenomenon known as drawback. This is nature's final, eerie warning sign, luring the unsuspecting to the exposed seabed moments before the real devastation arrives. Then, the impact. This is the moment the unstoppable force meets the seemingly immovable object. A tsunami doesn't crash and recede like a normal wave. It's a relentless, surging flood that moves inland for miles. A churning torrent filled with debris. Buildings, cars, bridges, everything in its path is swept away, becoming part of a destructive battering ram. The force is immense, capable of stripping landscapes bare and reshaping entire coastlines in a matter of minutes. The power isn't just in the initial crash, but in the sustained flow of water that acts like a powerful, fast-moving river. Once the initial surge has pushed as far inland as its energy allows, the battle isn't over. The water must return to the sea, and this outflow can be just as destructive as the inflow. It drags everything it has collected back out into the ocean, creating treacherous currents and leaving behind a scene of utter devastation. The aftermath is a transformed world. The land is scarred, coated in mud and debris, and the human cost is often immense. Yet, amidst the destruction, we also see the incredible resilience of both nature and humanity. Ecosystems slowly begin to recover, and communities, with global support, start the long and arduous process of rebuilding. Understanding the science behind tsunamis is our best defense. Early warning systems, public education, and coastal engineering are all crucial tools that help us prepare and mitigate the impact of these incredible events. While we can't stop the ocean, we can learn to respect its power and live more harmoniously with our dynamic planet. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the power of tsunamis. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be inside the eye of a hurricane? It's a place of bizarre, almost supernatural.com. Surrounded by one of the most powerful and destructive forces on Earth. Today, we're stepping directly into the heart of the storm. Imagine winds howling at over 150 miles per hour. That's faster than a high-speed train. These are the winds in the eye wall, the most dangerous part of a hurricane. They can rip roofs off houses, toss cars around like toys, and create a storm surge that floods entire coastlines. The noise is a deafening, continuous roar, a sound of pure raw power that seems to shake the very ground you stand on. The rain is blinding, coming down not in drops, but in solid sheets, driven horizontally by the ferocious wind. It's chaos, it's terror, and it's a force of nature at its most furious. But then, something incredible happens. As the eye wall passes, the wind suddenly drops. The torrential rain ceases. The deafening roar fades into an eerie silence. The dense, dark clouds part, and you can see blue sky, or even stars at night, directly above you. Welcome to the eye of the hurricane. This calm center is typically 20 to 40 miles wide. Standing inside it is a truly surreal experience. You're in a pocket of tranquility, a small, circular oasis of peace. The air can become surprisingly warm and humid as it sinks within the eye. Birds, often seabirds caught in the storm, can be seen flying around, trapped within this temporary sanctuary, circling until the other side of the eye wall arrives. It's a moment of deceptive peace, a brief intermission in nature's most violent drama. Looking up, you see the colossal stadium of clouds that forms the eye wall, towering tens of thousands of feet into the atmosphere. It's like being at the bottom of a giant, swirling bowl made of pure energy. You can physically see the wall of the storm that was just pummeling you, and you know that its counterpart is on its way. This stadium effect is one of the most awe-inspiring sights a human can witness. A stark, beautiful reminder of the immense scale and structure of the storm. But this piece is dangerously temporary. The calm is a trap for the unwary. Depending on the storm's speed, the eye might last for a few minutes or a couple of hours. But the other side of the eye wall is always coming. And when it hits, it arrives with the same terrifying ferocity as the first. The winds don't just pick up, they slam into you from the opposite direction. Any structures that were weakened by the first half of the storm are now hit from a new angle, often leading to complete collapse. For hurricane hunters, the scientists and pilots who fly directly into these storms, crossing the eye wall is the most turbulent part of their mission. Their specially equipped planes are tossed around violently, but once they break through into the eye, they can gather crucial data. They deploy instruments called dropsons that measure pressure, temperature, humidity, and wind speed as they fall through the eye and into the ocean. This data is vital for forecasting the hurricane's intensity and path, helping to save lives by giving people on the ground more time to prepare or evacuate. The pressure inside the eye is incredibly low. In fact, the lowest barometric pressures ever recorded on Earth's surface have been in the eyes of powerful hurricanes and typhoons. This low pressure is the engine of the storm, the vacuum that pulls the surrounding air inward and upward, fueling the hurricane's massive spinning structure. So, the eye of the hurricane is a place of profound contradiction. It's a moment of serene beauty in the midst of utter destruction. A pocket of peace that signals even more danger to come. It's a testament to the incredible, complex, and sometimes terrifying mechanics of our planet's atmosphere. A place few have ever been, and a sight no one could ever forget. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the heart of the storm. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the wonders and forces of our world. Stay safe, and see you in the next video. The raw, untamed power of nature can be both breathtaking and terrifying. Today, we're re-looking at the aftermath of a force that reshaped a landscape and altered countless lives in a matter of hours. A catastrophic hurricane that tore through an entire coastline. What you're seeing isn't a movie set. This was home for thousands of people. Imagine waking up to the sound of the wind howling, not like a whistle, but like a freight train that won't stop. The sky turns a menacing shade of gray, and the rain comes down not in drops, but in sheets, driven sideways by gusts, strong enough to feel like a physical push. This is the reality for communities in the path of a major hurricane. As the storm makes landfall, the first thing to go is the power. Darkness falls, punctuated only by the flash of lightning or the eerie glow of emergency lights. Then, the storm surge begins. This isn't just a high tide. It's a wall of ocean water, pushed inland by the immense pressure of the storm, flooding streets, swallowing cars, and creeping relentlessly up the foundations of homes. Families huddled together in the safest, most central part of their houses, listening to the horrifying sounds from outside. The groan of their home's structure under stress, the sharp crack of ancient trees snapping in two, and the constant, deafening roar of the wind. When dawn finally breaks, the silence is almost as unsettling as the storm itself. Peeking outside reveals a world transformed into a scene of utter devastation. Homes that had stood for generations are reduced to splintered wood and scattered debris. Roofs are peeled back like can lids, walls have collapsed, and personal belongings, family photos, children's toys, cherished heirlooms are strewn across the landscape, soaked and ruined. The very geography has changed. Majestic, decades-old trees, which once provided shade and character to neighborhoods, are ripped from the ground, their massive root systems exposed to the sky. Roads are impassable, blocked by fallen debris, downed power lines, and deep, standing water. The coastline itself is redrawn, with beaches eroded and familiar landmarks simply gone, washed away by the surge. It's a surreal, heartbreaking panorama. Yet, In the midst of this destruction, something incredible begins to emerge: the unshakable resilience of the human spirit. Neighbors who have lost everything themselves immediately start checking on one another. Strangers work side by side, clearing debris from a driveway, sharing a bottle of water, or offering a shoulder to cry on. First responders and volunteers pour into the affected areas, navigating the wreckage to rescue those who are trapped and provide essential aid like food, water, and medical care. These moments are the first flickers of hope in the overwhelming darkness. Communities don't just rebuild their homes, they rebuild their lives together. It's a long, arduous process filled with challenges and setbacks, but it is fueled by a profound sense of unity and a shared determination to recover. The stories that come out of these disasters are not just of loss, but of courage, compassion, and incredible strength. It's a powerful reminder that even after the worst of storms, the sun will eventually shine again. If you are ever in a situation like this, or know someone who is, please know that resources are available. Organizations like the Red Cross and local emergency management agencies are there to help. Reaching out is a sign of strength. Thank you for watching and for taking the time to understand the profound impact of these events. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores our world. Stay safe, everyone. The sky darkens, a strange, eerie calm falls over the fields and homes that have stood for generations. But this isn't the quiet that precedes a gentle rain. This is the calm before the storm, a storm unlike any other. In the distance, a monstrous swirl of cloud and wind begins to take shape. For the people in its path, life is about to change forever. Today, we're not just telling a story about a weather event. We are bearing witness to the immense power of nature and the incredible resilience of the human spirit when faced with utter devastation. We're talking about the moment a cyclone, a furious spinning titan of air and water, descended upon a string of peaceful villages, erasing them from the map in a matter of moments. Imagine waking up to the familiar sounds of your village: the rooster's crow, the chatter of neighbors, the smell of breakfast cooking. Life is simple, predictable, and beautiful. Now, imagine all of that being silenced by a roar that isn't from an animal or a machine, but from the very sky itself. The wind begins to shriek, a sound that gets louder and higher until it's a physical force, pressing against your ears, your home, your very being. This is what residents experienced. The cyclone didn't just arrive, it exploded. With wind speeds reaching terrifying velocities, it descended upon the first village like a predator. Roofs, made of tin and thatch, were the first to go. They were peeled back like can lids and tossed into the air, spinning like deadly frisbees. Walls that had sheltered families for years crumbled as if they were made of sand. Trees that had provided shade and fruit for decades were snapped in half, their roots torn violently from the earth. The force was unimaginable. Eyewitnesses describe a scene of pure chaos. The air filled with a blinding spray of rain and debris. Everything that wasn't anchored down became a projectile. Farming tools, furniture, pieces of buildings, all were swept up into the vortex, a deadly confetti celebrating nature's fury. People clung to whatever they could find, their prayers lost in the deafening howl of the storm. In seconds, literally, seconds, a thriving community was reduced to rubble. Where houses once stood, there were only foundations. Where vibrant fields once grew, there was only flattened mud and splintered wood. The cyclone didn't just pass through. It scoured the landscape clean, leaving behind a scene of almost unbelievable destruction. And it wasn't over. It moved with terrifying speed, marching from one village to the next, repeating the devastation. Each community in its path suffered the same horrifying fate. When the winds finally subsided and a stunned silence returned, the true scale of the tragedy began to unfold. Survivors emerged from the wreckage, dazed and disoriented. They looked upon a world they no longer recognized. Their homes, their possessions, their entire livelihoods gone. The landscape was a tangled mess of what used to be their lives. In this moment of shock and grief, the most powerful force of all began to emerge: humanity. Neighbors began searching for neighbors. Strangers helped strangers. Cries for help were answered by people who had lost everything themselves but still had the strength to offer a hand. The first responders on the scene were the survivors themselves, digging through debris, tending to the injured, and comforting the grieving. This is the part of the story that the wind cannot erase. The cyclone tore apart buildings, but it could not tear apart the bonds of community. In the days that followed, help began to arrive from the outside world. Rescue teams, medical personnel, and aid organizations flocked to the area, bringing with them food, water, and medical supplies. Temporary shelters were set up, offering a safe haven for those who had lost their homes. The cleanup is a monumental task. Every piece of debris represents a memory, a part of a life that was, but with each cleared path, with each salvaged photograph, with each shared story of survival, hope is being rebuilt. It's a long and difficult road ahead. Rebuilding villages from scratch is a challenge that will take years, not weeks. But the spirit of these communities is not broken. It's a testament to the fact that while a storm can take away our possessions, it can never take away our will to survive, to help one another, and to rebuild. The foundations of their homes may have been swept away, but the foundations of their spirit remain stronger than ever. Thank you for joining us to hear this powerful story. It's a stark reminder of nature's power and the importance of coming together in times of crisis. If you were moved by this story, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more content that matters. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one.